Hey everyone, this is Corey at Security.org, and today I'm going to show you the brand new Nest Cam battery, the much anticipated home security camera release from Google. At a high level, the Nest Cam battery is an indoor-outdoor home security camera, battery powered as the name suggests, but you also do have the option to plug it in for constant power. It has 1080p resolution, a 130-degree field of view, and HDR high dynamic range. In short, there's a ton to love about this camera. In today's video, I'm going to show you everything that is included in the box with your Nest Cam battery. I'll run you through the installation process with this camera, the performance, both day and night, inside and out, what I think are the most relevant features. I'll show that to you as well, and do a walkthrough of the mobile application that is the Google Home mobile app, so that by the end of today, hopefully you'll know if the Nest Cam battery is the right move for you. So here is a rundown of all of the items included in the package with your Nest Cam battery. Well, of course, you're getting the Nest Cam battery itself, and it comes with a magnetic mounting plate. You also get a wall plate, 2 wall anchors and wall screws to mount that wall plate, a 1 meter long charge cable and power adapter, and a quick start guide. Now, it's important to note that if you plan on using your Nest Cam inside, let's say placing it on a bookshelf or something like that, you're gonna have to make an additional purchase. You're gonna have to get the Nest Cam stand right here. This is what it looks like. Nice and heavy, nice and stable, and the Nest Cam just sits right on the top of it like so. You can place it wherever you need to place it. The stand also comes with this detachable power cable, so you can plug into the back of the stand to get that constant power if you so wish. And note that this also unlocks the ability to get 24/7 continuous recording with the camera. That particular feature requires a Nest Aware subscription, but more on that later. So let me run through a few more baseline hardware specs with this Nest Cam to get you up to speed on what exactly this thing is capable of. The Nest Cam is IP54 weather resistant to stand up to whatever is happening in your backyard, and it has an operating range of temperatures from -4 degrees to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. It's equipped with 2-way audio with noise cancellation. You'll hear a sample of that soon. It has a lithium-ion rechargeable battery. Nest claims that that battery takes 5 hours to get a full charge, but my device came about 75% charged right out of the box. And as with the constant power offered by the Nest Cam stand, you can buy a weatherproof cable for outdoor use if you prefer to have constant power mounting your Nest Cam outside. Now let's shift to the installation process with the Nest Cam battery. And right off the bat, I'll note that everything is going to be happening in the Google Home mobile application. Gone pretty much are the days of the Nest app. With all of these new Nest products, as far as I can tell, all the actions, all the functionality has migrated right into the Google Home app. The steps laid out in the Quick Start Guide, digitally at least, are just 1, 2, and 3. First, you're gonna plug in that Nest Cam, get some power flowing to it, then download the Google Home mobile app if you haven't already, and you need a Google account as well. So if you don't have a Google account, you have to create one of those. You'll add the Nest Cam battery within the app, and then that sets off just a step-by-step installation process guided by the Google Home mobile application. This process includes scanning the QR code and connecting your device to your Wi-Fi network, among other things. After that happens, the device will begin to download and install any relevant updates. When it comes to the physical installation, that process is extremely simple, especially if you're going inside. You use the Nest Cam stand, pop it right on top of the stand like so, and you can place it wherever you want. And remember, if you want constant power, you can just plug it in right in the back. For outdoor mounting, you'll use the included magnetic mounting plate. And I must say that this is a very, very strong magnet. Nest recommends that you mount this device 6 to 6.5 feet high outside for optimal performance. To do that, you just screw in the included wall plate to your surface and twist the magnetic plate onto that wall plate. At that point, you just pop the device onto the magnetic mount and position it however you need it to be to get that best view, and then you're ready to go viewing events with the Nest Cam. So let's shift to the performance of the Nest Cam battery. I'm gonna give you a demo day and night, inside and out, of what you can expect to see and hear from the Nest Cam. So let's begin outside. Here you have the day vision outside with the Nest Cam, and we got 1080p resolution, 130-degree field of view, so you can see everything that's going on in my backyard here. Camera's about 8 feet up on the house right now, and how far back am I? I'm at 11 feet right here. This is how I look. Let me go back to the end of the tape measure. It's at 24 feet. See how I look there? So there you go. Day vision on the Nest Cam. And here we have the night vision on the Nest Cam battery. Got it in the backyard. Let me back it up a little bit to about 10 feet out from the camera. How do I look? How do I sound? It's raining a little bit. It's nice to get some rain in the Pacific Northwest. So let me move around this space and show you what I look like at different distances, what I sound like at different distances. Here I am in the back corner, coming back to like 20, almost 25 feet out here underneath the tree. Coming back over to this side. The night vision on the Nest Cam battery. And here you have a look at the day vision on the Nest Cam battery when you bring it inside. I have it on the Nest Cam stand right now. It's mid-morning. We got some good light in the living room here. Let me walk around and show you what I look like at different distances. So backing up to the far wall, back by the dog bed. How's that? Heading over to this corner over here, around the corner of the door. Day vision, Nest Cam inside. So here's the look that you get with the night vision when you bring it inside with the Nest Cam. So you see here, 130-degree field of view. I'm capturing a ton of my front living room area, all the way from the door over there, all the way to the corner of the room. So anyone lurking around here, coming in through the door, or over here in the corner by the record player, they're gonna be caught on the Nest Cam. Breaking down these clips that we just watched, there are a few notable elements that I want to talk about, but generally I want to say that the video quality is looking really nice on the Nest Cam. Likewise, the audio quality. With the Nest Cam mounted outside, I really didn't have any complaints with the video quality there. I mean, it was crisp, 1080. The exposure was particularly good. So both day and night, I was still able to see my face, my surroundings, in a variety of lighting conditions. In my testing, the motion detection performed well here. I was able to get consistent motion detections at around 20 feet during the daytime. For nighttime, I had to be a little bit closer for it to pick up on that motion. Likewise, the audio quality was really nice on the Nest Cam battery. That noise cancellation, I was a real big fan of it. Here is a test of the two-way audio on the Nest Cam. When it comes to the indoor footage, I have the same notes regarding the audio. I mean, the audio sounds even better inside because you're at an even closer range and there's less noise to be canceled. But when it comes to video, there's some slight differences there. The night vision looked fantastic. It exposed well for me as I moved all around the room. You were able to see my face and all the surroundings. Now, when it comes to the day vision, I definitely recommend that you do some trial and error, some testing to find the very best location to place this camera. You'll get the very best image quality, the very best exposure by pointing the camera away from any windows that you might have. So all of that light will be hitting your subject. If you place your camera in a darker part of your home and let's say have it pointed out at a bright window, you're gonna end up with a slightly darker image quality. Now, it's still good, you can see everything still, but it's definitely something to consider when choosing where you're gonna be placing your camera inside. Now on to a few elements that I think really set the Nest Cam battery apart. Those are intelligent alerts and the recording. First, intelligent alerts. So as you'd expect, you can stream a live view 24/7 of what's happening in front of your Nest Cam. But what really sets the Nest Cam apart here is that it can differentiate between people, animals, vehicles, even familiar faces if you're subscribed to Nest Aware. Additionally, you can create motion zones to really dial in the alerts that you actually want to know about. But I'll be honest, I scarcely even used activity zones because these intelligent alerts were so accurate. I mean, think about this. Think of how nice it is to only get alerts from your Nest Cam when there's something happening that you care about. People, animals, those are basically the only two things that I care about in my backyard. I'm not looking for vehicles. I'm not looking for any other kinds of motion. So I'll only be notified when those specific things happen if I so choose. Capability number 2, recordings. Now, in my opinion, this is a huge headline. With the Nest Cam, you're getting 3 free hours of event history. That means you can go back in that last 3 hours, view all of the events that have taken place, even download those clips. That's just awesome that you have that amount of functionality, that amount of cloud storage without having to have a monthly recurring subscription fee. That's not something that can be said for many of the Nest competitors out there, like Ring, for example. The clips recorded by your Nest Cam can be up to 3 minutes in length, and I love that. I like having a nice long clip. I'd rather have more footage than less footage. Of course, that compromises the battery life a little bit, but you have to decide what the priority is for you. This leads me to Nest Aware. Now, I've hinted at this a little bit already, but this is the subscription service that allows you to get the very most out of your Nest Cam battery. There are 2 levels to choose from with Nest Aware. You have the standard Nest Aware subscription, and then you have the Nest Aware Plus subscription. The primary difference between the two is with the event history. With the Nest Aware subscription, you get 30 days of rolling event history. So you can go back during any point in those last 30 days when you had an event, you can view, download, and share those clips. The Plus subscription, however, gives you 60 days of event history, and on top of that, 10 days of 24/7 continuous recording. So the last 10 days, you can go back and look at every single second of every single day with the Nest Cam. Now note, to have that feature enabled, you do need to have the camera plugged into constant power. Now, what else is offered with a Nest Aware subscription? Well, know that it covers all of the Nest devices in your home. So maybe you have a couple cameras, you have a Nest doorbell, for example. All of those devices will be covered with one Nest subscription. It enables enhanced intelligent alerts, for example, familiar faces. The Nest Cam can detect and identify specific faces that enter your space and store those faces in the familiar faces library. This device also has the ability to listen for smoke and CO alarms. This is recommended for indoor use, but you'll be notified of any of those alarms going off. And then you have the ability to use the E911 feature, which is essentially connecting within the mobile application to your local emergency services at the tap of the screen. Now, the last element that I want to cover with the Nest Cam is the integration with Google Assistant enabled devices. Here I have the Google Home Hub. Well, I can ask this device to play a live stream from my Nest Cam. I can even engage in a 2-way audio conversation with whatever is going on in front of my Nest Cam right on the hub itself. So now let me walk you through using this Google Home mobile application as it relates to the Nest Cam, specifically how it's gonna work for you on the day-to-day. Right up front, I'll say that I'm quite happy with the functionality of this app. I was a little skeptical up front coming from Nest, making that full migration over to Google Home. Would the home security elements really pan out in the Google Home app? Well, I think they did. Let's take a look. So here you have the main page of the Google Home mobile application, a number of different options happening here, selections at the top of the page, the name of the space that you're in. We're in Security.org West right now. And below that, a list of all of the different devices, the Nest devices that I have in my Google Home. Focusing in on the Nest Cam, I have called it Backyard. Let's tap into the Backyard camera. And there you see I have a status. The camera's idle, it's at 98% battery. You'll note that it doesn't bring you immediately to a live stream of the camera, which I found a little strange on the front end, but I understand it's trying to save battery. So in order to enable that, you need to hit live video. Now note that if your camera is plugged in, you will immediately get that live stream. You won't have to enable it with that live feed button. And here's a look at that live feed in my backyard. Looks like a nice day. I can zoom in and out of this frame, explore around. I can hit this microphone to get a two-way talk conversation going on, but let's end that. You see at the bottom of the page, I have a couple different tabs. There's the history tab, there's the live tab, which I'm in right now, and there's the more. Let's check out more. So the option that I have here is the emergency response button. So let's hit that. Emergency services. So at the tap of the button here, I can contact my local emergency services. And I know that because I have my specific local address tied to my Nest Aware account. So this will direct me to the proper number. From here, let's shift to the history tab on the far left, and you can see it brings me to a timeline view of what was happening in my backyard at various times. Events indicated by the blue bar here. Taking a look at this event at 7:31, you can see me walking around the yard. It knows that I'm there because it says Corey on top. Let me get some event details for this. So you can see that there's a familiar face, there's the face, Corey, and the duration of this event is 36 seconds long. Now I can go ahead and download this clip immediately by hitting this button on the top right-hand corner, the download button. It'll download it directly to my mobile device to do whatever I need to do with it. Download complete. Now let's say I want to see the history not in this timeline view, but a list where I can hit this full history button. And it'll bring me to a list of everything that has happened. And it gives me the category of kind of event that it is. Person, 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 Corey, animal, talk and listen session, so on and so forth. But maybe you want to filter down these events a little bit. Maybe there's too much going on here. Well, you can hit the calendar, you can select a specific date range for your events. Furthermore, you can narrow it down by cameras, what was seen, what was heard. You see you have a number of different options there to really find exactly what you're looking for. Jumping out of there, let's take a look at all of the settings with the Nest Cam. Hitting that gear icon in the upper right, you see you have a list of different settings. Let's start with the notifications. Here you can decide exactly what kind of notifications you want to be informed of. For example, people, animals, vehicles, motion, even carbon monoxide and smoke alarms the Nest Cam can be listening for. I only want to know about people and animals. I have those selected. Then you have battery usage, which is essentially a couple presets for a desired battery outcome. For example, more recording or more battery life. I chose custom, which just goes with whatever settings I already have for my camera. Below that, there is events. You have seen events, heard events. So in the scene events, at the top of the list, you have activity zones. You can create activity zones with the Nest Cam, but to be honest, I really didn't utilize them because the smart, intelligent AI features of this camera were so good that I wasn't getting a whole bunch of unnecessary notifications for actions that I didn't need to know about. Below that, you have the option for familiar face detection, and you can manage your familiar face library. Here you see that I'm in the library. I am a face. You can see all sorts of different photos of me. The Nest Cam knows who I am clearly, and you can add other faces as they show up on your camera. Below that, you have event history, and this is where you decide what exactly your camera is going to be recording. I've selected people and animals. I don't need to know about vehicles or any other motion that's happening in my backyard, so it's nice that I don't need to deal with all those other recordings. Next on the list, we have video settings. There's a few different things to discuss here. First being the video history. Checking that out, you'll see I have 60 days of event history and 10 days of 24/7 video history. Now note that your camera does need to be plugged into constant power in order to take advantage of that continuous recording. Next, we have wake up sensitivity, and essentially this is Nest's way of describing motion detection. Low, medium, high sensitivity. Again, high sensitivity, you're gonna get more recordings. Below that, we have maximum event length. So you can choose the recording length from 10 seconds to 3 minutes. I've maxed it out at 3 minutes because I want the longest possible clip. I want all kinds of information when it comes to who is roaming around in my backyard. You can choose your video quality. The two options are high and max. I chose max, of course. Once again, I'm willing to compromise a little bit of battery life to get the very best results. And the last settings that we have here are audio settings. A few different options here. You can turn the microphone on or off. You can enable audio recording with your video clips, and you can choose how loud your Nest Cam's speaker is gonna be. Now that's pretty much the gist of it when it comes to the Google Home mobile application and how it relates to the Nest Cam. But there is one more thing I wanted to mention, a feature that I really liked about this app, and that is on the front page, you go ahead and hit this tab on the lower right, and you get this sort of priority feed from all of your devices, very social media-esque. You see it's providing me with some information here, unfamiliar faces, package information, doorbell information, and then all my recent events. I can just keep on scrolling and see everything that was going on. These are all particularly from my doorbell. That was the most recent action, but all of your devices will show up in this feed. Now in today's video, you've seen and heard a ton about the Nest Cam. Let me wrap it up for you, give you some final thoughts on this device. This is how I see it. We've waited a very long time for this Nest Cam to come out. It had been years since the last Nest camera was released, and this does not disappoint in my opinion. At a fundamental security camera level, you're getting excellent performance. I mean, really high quality 1080p vision, both day and night, and really clear audio quality with that noise cancellation. Add to that the fact that you get 3 hours of event history for free with the Nest Cam. You can go back, view, download any of those clips. No subscription is required. Here is the bottom line in my opinion. I think this is just a great device. The Nest Cam is high performing, it's extremely versatile, and you have a ton of advanced AI features that allows this camera to perform exactly the way that you want it to. Now, if that's what you're looking for in a home security camera, definitely worth your consideration. That concludes today's look at the Nest Cam. I hope it was helpful. I hope you learned some stuff. If you did, give us a like. Maybe consider subscribing to our channel, Security.org, where we are dropping the latest in home and digital security weekly. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.